Good afternoon. It's once again Friday in the afternoon at 5:30 p.m. And this is your host for the next 25 minutes of Hotline 21, the most interactive television show that you're going to find anywhere in the United States of America. And of course, you can give us a call and join in and voice your opinions about whatever it is you want to talk about. If you want to ask some questions, then I think I should be able to respond or answer. Our telephone number is 312-738-1060. And of course, this has been a very interesting week. I started the week off Monday. I went to Shreveport, Louisiana to give a speech on Tuesday for the Louisiana Reentry Association. And of course, it was well attended, a great event. And following me was the governor of the state of Louisiana. And I was just super excited about that because it meant that reentry was important enough in the state of Louisiana for the governor of the state to come and address this association. And for those of us who kind of know how these processes go, that was big time. I'm saying if the governor was there, and I was just with the governor of Illinois the week before, who was at the Safer Foundation's annual benefit, and of course they do reentry work, and they're one of the oldest outfits in the United States of America doing that kind of work. Of course, I hopped on an airplane and went straight to Washington, D.C., where we spent the week talking pretty much about whether or not the government was going to shut down, whether or not we were going to reach an agreement on a spending plan to keep the government alive. And of course, we talked about a whole lot of things that were not going to happen because Republicans in Congress were also talking about putting another health bill on the table or on the floor. And of course, Democrats are going to be opposed to anything that messes around with the Affordable Care Act. So the debate goes on. As a matter of fact, there does appear to be a little thaw in our state debate because it seems as though the governor and the Speaker of the House, that is Governor Rauner, and Speaker Madigan have had a meeting, and they both have indicated that, they may be ready to reach some agreements or enough agreement on some things that they could move the state beyond this budget impasse. And of course, I certainly hope so. I hope that we're going to be able to do that. But realistically, when you talk politics, both sides want to win. It's no different than the Bulls playing the Boston Celtics. Both sides want to win. Some of the players are good friends. They're very cordial with each other. They're very civil. But when they get on the floor, each side has one objective, and that objective is to win what they think would be in the best interest of their team. Well, the same thing is true when it comes to politics, especially the way political parties and political operatives play the game. The President of the United States released a tax plan. And it's a tax plan, obviously, that some people are going to love. It's a tax plan that other people are going to hate. The big feature of the tax plan is to reduce the corporate income tax rate from now 39.6% down to about 15%. And the fear that a lot of people have, that sounds good because it is the essence of what is called the trickle-down theory of economics. The idea being that if those at the top get enough play and enough opportunity, they're going to be reinvesting. They're going to be putting that money that they would have available to them back into the economy, and that's going to create some jobs and opportunities for other people at the bottom. Well, people at the bottom kind of reject that because they've been sold that bill of goods many times. And instead of trickling down, I'd much rather see opportunities going up. That if you want change, I'm far more convinced that change is a bottoms-up process much more than it is a top-down process. So the likelihood of change coming is much greater when the ferment is at the bottom and is moving upward rather than trickling down. We've got a caller, so let's go to the phone and see who we got. Caller, are you there?
Good evening, Dr. Davis, U.S. Representative 7th District. I want to make a quick comment, okay?
Yes, sir.
There's an old proverb, and it goes like this: put brain in gear before putting mouth in motion. And we see the president a lot of times saying things that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He signed bills and he make other comments about something else that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, he talking about this trickle-down theory. Rich people don't spend money. They hold on to money. If you hold on to money, how it's supposed to circulate? It has been proven people in the middle income bracket, they spend the money. And when you look at most middle income people, where they usually have their money in, mostly in their homes. And they invest in their home. They're going to go out and buy things they're going to need for their home to keep things up. And when people are doing those sort of things, that's going to circulate money. That's going to provide jobs in terms of goods and services. Like I said before, rich people don't spend money. It don't circulate at all. They hold on to what they have. So his ideas in terms of that trickle-down theory is not going to work at all.
Well, I agree with you. I don't think it ever has worked, and I don't think it ever will work. And even if you read history and go back to biblical days, or you go back to other eras, and you will see that the rich have always had one status, and the rest of the people have had another status. And so people with plenty, the song says, got a lock on the door.
And can I make one more comment?
Yes.
Now, he's talking about building this wall. Now, I want to make a real quick comment. When companies can move capital and people can't move between borders, people going to go where they're going to make the money, right? And when they put those walls up, people can't move. Companies take advantage of where low labor is at. And then this man want to build a wall, and you got people out here talking about these illegal aliens are stealing jobs. And I say this once before, okay? How can they steal something they never owned? You can't steal something from somebody they never owned it. And like I said, they need to do something about these companies able to move capital.
Well, let me ask you this question. It sounds as though you are not really against certain kinds of immigration, and
No.
that It sounds that way in terms of what you're saying. Let me ask if you could answer this for me.
I do my best.
Those who say or claim that immigrants undercut wages at the bottom of the socioeconomic scale and therefore take opportunities or diminish opportunities for low income people who are already here and who are
No,
citizens.
they don't. Look at the facts. Look at the figures and all that. Okay, look what's happened with NAFTA right now. The people cannot move across the border because that's the reason why we got these low-paying jobs because companies will take advantage of it, and that's what they're doing right now because companies will move where they get the lowest wages there is. And I'll give you a good example. Look at Nike and Reebok. A pair of shoes that we pay $300 for, box and all, over those countries, it ain't no more than $3.
All right.
Take care.
I get your drift. Thank you so much. We've got another caller on the line, so let's go right to that caller. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, how you doing, Congress David? I ain't gonna keep you on the phone long. Okay, all these parts. Okay, Congress David, they talk about shutting people, the government down. Okay, Congress David, what if God shut everybody else down, and what if God shut Joe down?
Well, you know,
Okay, now, okay, they always talk about, okay, they talk about they gonna shut the government down. What if God shut them down, and what if God shut Joe down? I ain't gonna keep you on the phone long, Congress David.
well, let me tell you,
Okay, what I'm
God
saying.
is all power and all things to those who believe.
Uh-huh.
And I happen to be a believer. And I think God makes some decisions, but He also allows man, that is, people who hear, to make other decisions. And I think God is in charge. So I don't have
I'm saying,
any.
Congress David, what if God shut? Okay, they talk about they gonna shut the government down. What if God shut them down, and what if He shut Joe down too?
Well, when God shut us down, then that's the end of our time generally on this earth,
Uh
and
huh.
we go to another place.
Okay,
All
like I
right.
said, okay, like I
Thank
said, God is in control. You have a nice evening, Congress David.
you too, and thank you so much. We'll go to our next caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes, Congressman.
Yes.
Just giving you, for the last 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, it's all been the same. Trickle this or don't trickle it. Do this or don't do that. Democrats come in, nothing changes. Republicans come in, nothing changes. So maybe by some miracle, by the miracle of God, that things will change a little bit for us now. That number two is if you don't want to buy $300 gym shoes, don't buy them. Nobody's forcing people to buy $300 gym shoes, but they go out there and they complain. Oh, they cost $300. Hey, go down the block and they cost $100. Save yourself $2. But no, they want to buy them. They want the first pair out of that store. That's kind of crazy to spend money that you don't have, isn't it?
Let me tell you, I agree with you. There's no way in the world, I don't think, that I would pay $300 for a pair of gym shoes. I just, I don't think my feet would fit into a pair of $300 gym shoes. But we do have what is called sense, and we can make decisions and determinations for ourselves. Thank you so much, and we're going to go right next to our next caller. Caller, are you there?
Hi.
Yes.
Oh, you
You can hear me. Okay. Congressman Davis, um, you do such a wonderful job, and I listen and I watches you every week. So I want to say something to you personally, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so ever so much. Now, I hear that you travel this place, you travel that place, which is good. But listen, what I want you to do, I want you to take some time out for yourself, and I want you to take a rest period. Listen, take heed to what I'm saying, okay? I watches you every week. I adore you, okay? And I want you to take some time off, please. And I don't know what your health status is, but I know you've gone through a lot, a great deal, and you're only human. So please, Congressman Davis, take some time off and take you some rest. Will you do that for yourself? And will you
Yes,
do it for
I
me? And will you do it for your
and the
family?
very next period that we have, which is week after next, we have some more district work days coming up, and I hope to take some time during that period. But you know, the other thing is that people have been so wonderful
Yes.
and
And,
so
and, and I
kind.
know that because you are such a beautiful, beautiful human being.
Well,
You're
I
such a
thank
doll.
you.
And I love you. I love you, honey. I never had the pleasure of meeting you, but I love you, Congressman Davis.
Well, thank
Okay?
you so much, and I'm going to follow your advice and get a little bit of that rest. And thank you so much. Let's take this other call. Caller, are you there?
Yes, Congressman, and it's a great day to be on God's green earth.
It is indeed.
Two quick parts. Number one, when Joe asked you about the immigration laws, well, listen, you ain't gonna pay attention now, but you wait during harvesting time when the corn and all the vegetables need to be picked. Then watch at the grocery stores how everything has gone up. If we don't have no one picking, my God, you talking about cutting the under rate of the payments. Well, I don't see nobody else. I don't listen. We haven't picked anything since cotton. I don't think anyone's gonna be out there want to help harvest or do anything. Now, some people might will because you need to feed your family.
Let me
But the
ask you
gas,
this, though. If those are the only jobs available, do you think people would do them? I'm saying, and I know that times change, situations change, but I tell you, I was in a situation when I graduated from college where the only work that I could get at that time where I was chopping cotton for $3 a day. Do you know what I did? I
chop
stuck
that
my
cotton.
degree in my back pocket and went on out there and chopped cotton for $3 a day until I could get enough money to catch that train heading north.
Hmm. Well, you know what? In the beginning, if things you got to do what you got to do as long as it's not illegal. But now these days, we have got smarter. Things that was given to us that it was given from our people to us to keep on having the chance to do things. And this is what I do. I pass it on to my young kids, my grandkids, to make sure that they have an opportunity. But again, people is not manual labor is a thing of the past. You have to go to school to get an education team to do things, degrees to do certain things, but still things that have always been, unless they make robots to go out in the fields and pick, well, we know until then it's nothing but people. Only time I ever go pick when I go to the farm, and though you pick at farms and pick me some different little things off and bring home, but I wouldn't want to do that as a career. But the main thing what I wanted to ask you this: do you think Donald Duck is about to get us in a little situation with the North Korea? Do he have the right people, all these secretaries, to control this so we don't go to war? I'd like to have your honest opinion on that. So let me get off the air now. And
All
you know,
right.
I know how y'all, but just give us a little summary of it.
Okay. We're going to take this call first, and then I'm going to respond to that inquiry.
I'm going to steal something from Steve. Like he referred to him as Donald Duck. I can't disagree with that because it has been proven that he is the most unprepared president that ever been. And when he opened his mouth, he said recently he didn't thought this job would be so hard.
But people voted for him, and I agree that in terms of being engaged in public discourses except from a business vantage point, but he got enough votes to get elected president.
But people don't realize you can use business principle in certain situations with government, but you cannot run a government like you run a business. No way you can. I won't shut up and let somebody else may get a chance to get on by.
All right. Well, you know, I agree with many of the points that people make relative to if you're looking for a certain kind of individual. You know, it's kind of like courting. You got to try and know everything that you can know about that person before you sign on the dotted line. And of course, a lot of people didn't sign on the dotted line, and Mr. Trump is president. He appears to like the idea of brinksmanship, and that is push his position to the point where you either buy into it or you push hard enough against it that he might back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. When it comes to North Korea, the situation that we're in there frightens me to death because it appears as though both he and the leader of North Korea are both operating the same way. And it becomes a matter of who blinks first. I believe that diplomacy can be played a different way. And so I'm hoping that he will use all of the diplomatic stuff that's available. And I would hope that the head of North Korea would not antagonize South Korea and violate other people to the extent that we might get drawn into a war. I think General Sherman described the war. He said that war was hell. And I think if we look at the damage that was done 9/11 on a limited basis of the attack on our country, if we get into a more protracted, bigger war, then I can imagine that it's going to be very difficult. Other than what we experienced then, we've never been direct targets where bombs were falling on our cities, where our people couldn't go outside. And so I'm hoping and praying, I might add, that we can avoid war. But I also know that you can't roll over. And if you display weakness, sometimes it invites attack from whatever opposition that you've got. We got to be strong, but we've got to be sane and sensible. I hope that President Trump will be that and we can avoid war, and I'll see you next week.